Hey guys, welcome to another ManOn2nd. I'm Mike Sunday, joined as always with Joe Frisara, and today we got a very special guest with us today. Former Marlin Logan Morrison, played with the Marlins for a few years. Joe, you want to give a better background of Logan?
Yeah, and we're really happy today. Obviously, opening day for the Marlins is tomorrow. Great opportunity now, and very happy that Logan Morrison, a player I really enjoyed covering. I saw him when he was drafted in his first game, his first hit, and so we got Lomo with us, and he's no introduction to Marlins fans. And one reason I'm really happy to get him now is, as Marlins fans know, 10 years ago is when Marlins Park opened. So we're going to get into all of that. But first, obviously Lomo played with the Marlins 2010 to 13. Also played for Seattle, Tampa Bay, Minnesota, the Phillies in 19, I guess in 20, a little bit with the Brewers in that pandemic year. And Lomo obviously was part of the original Miami Marlins back when they were unveiled in 2012. But Lomo, catch us up to date because you're not done playing, are you?
Nope, I'm actually going to head out here, go play some independent ball in High Point, North Carolina. Played there last year for about 10 games or so and got signed by the Reds. Went to AAA with the Reds, did well, just got hurt. One of those things, slide into home, tore my PCL. Was done out for the year and going to go do the same thing. Hopefully can catch on with the team and make it back to the big leagues. If not, it's been a good career and I'm going to enjoy my family.
Yeah, and so everyone knows Lomo lives in Jupiter. Like many, they come down here. We fall in love with the area. Obviously, that's where the Marlins and Cardinals have spring training. And Mike, obviously, you and Logan go way back as well.
Yeah, I think I was an original attendee for the Lomo for Lungs camp, and great Twitter following back, 10, 12 years ago now at this point.
I got in a little too much trouble for Twitter. I got rid of that thing. But
I remember McKeon used to call you Twitter when no one even knew what it was. But Lomo, take us back to, what was it, April, if my notes are right, I think it was April 4th, 2012. A lot of excitement for the organization. You were a couple of years in at the time. Ozzie Guillen's hired, the new ballpark. A lot of fanfare, even I think Pitbull was at a concert or something like that. You were on the runway modeling the new uniforms and unveiling all that. And then they did it April 4th, 2012 was, the first real game. And just kind of what you remember from those times. And the Marlins are kind of a show in terms of an attraction. And what were you kind of, you remember from those days?
Yeah, I remember being in a lot of pain, trying to play through a knee injury. I remember it being a circus, media-wise, because I think we had the Showtime crew there as well, the franchise. Great people, great cameraman. It's just, just another thing to it. But I always remember, opening night at the new ballpark. It was something special, something cool. You don't get to do that very often. So I get to say that I was a starting left fielder at the first game ever at Marlins Park. It's pretty cool to say. So,
yeah. And Muhammad Ali, I don't know how much you met, how much you met him. I mean, obviously he came in throughout the honorary, was part of the ceremony. And just, how as players, when you all of a sudden found out Muhammad Ali was going to be there, what was that like? And talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he wasn't in his full capacity. He's getting towards the end, but I mean, just everything the man stood for. And then just the heart of the champion, kept getting back up, probably got back up too many times. And, I think that's one thing you want to pass on to your children. It's not how many times you get knocked down, right? It's how many times you get back up. This world's tough. It's hard. You're going to make mistakes. We're human, but you learn from them and move on, and it makes you better.
Yeah, real fast on those original uniforms. Remember, they're the bright colors, and in the traditional sport of baseball, that was used to everything being navy blue or black, and you guys come out with that burnt orange, I think is what Jeffrey wanted to call it. And I remember when kids would put on that orange hat and everyone would be repulsed by it. And next thing you know, like half of baseball within a half a year is getting orange and bright colors. and you guys, you especially, really embraced it. Speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, it was something different, something new. It fit Miami, I felt like. I like these uniforms too they have, though. I like the Heat and the Marlins. I think it fits Miami better, to be honest. But I am happy that the home run statue is no longer there. I do like it. They moved in the fences, I think, now 3 times or something. I like it much better now than when it first opened. Yeah, it was Death Valley in center field there when I was playing. But you still got to hit them. You got to get them really good either way. But you felt like you got some hits taken away, some homers taken away.
You mentioned the Showtime. That's funny because a couple nights ago I was like watching that. I was watching like a clip on that YouTube. What was that experience like? Because I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of jokes about it because the guy like canceled right after that season. How was that experience though? Like actually having those cameramen following you guys around all season.
I mean, it was a cool experience, right? Like, I think there should be more stuff like that. It's just hard to get buy-in. I like what Bregman's doing. I like what Bauer does. I mean, I think he's kind of a clown, but I still like the fact that he's got his own media outlet, that he's promoting not only himself but other guys in the game. And whether people want to like believe it or not, like the owner's own MLB network, so it's good to have outside sources to go to, especially when it gets contentious as it has been these last couple of years with the owners.
Mike, especially being a young fan, how did you respond to the new rebranding of the Marlins when they went to that? And Lomo's talked to it. He was one of the first players to really like show the colors. Stanton did it as well. But when you were younger and you saw that, what were you thinking as a fan?
I mean, I liked them. I just remember the whole hype going into that 2012 season, like that last year in Sunlight. They would like rip down the number
and countdown.
The countdown was in like left field or right field.
Left
field.
Well,
yeah, you were there, right? and the hype going into that new logo. I remember. I think you were the one pushing, like calling it like the Art Deco fish or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a strange memory. But yeah, I remember I liked it. It was made baseball a little, more fun and arty.
Yeah. The stadium was, I mean, you couldn't complain about the stadium. I didn't care what color, what was in left center. Like at the end of the day, home run statues it is what it is. The underneath that stadium, the fact that we weren't getting rain delays. Well, except for the one time where they couldn't close the roof fast enough. But like that kind of stuff is, I mean, that was all upgrades. Amazing. I do remember when we were opening up that new stadium, it was like when I was on Twitter, like people hating on me for like getting the new stadium built. And I was like, well, I'm not really having anything to do with that, but I do play. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think people are still upset about that. I work where I work. I had a customer complain. I work in sports, let's just say, and I had a customer complain to me about that yesterday out of the blue. He was like, baseball's happening. Could you believe that they did that to Marlins players? I do. It's been 11 years
now. I tell you, I think one of my favorite moments on the franchise, Lomo, is like when they promoted and you like came through the door wearing your Stewie shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was just such a
I might have pre-planned that. I said, you guys are gonna give me like a hero walk right here? And they're like, yeah, we will. So they came in with like the matching sunglasses and my Stewie shirt on.
Yeah.
Cargo, I think it was like cargo army shorts on too.
Yeah. I think what kind of hit people was they weren't used to seeing that side of players. Now you see the NFL is the whole thing is, Patrick Mahomes walking into the park and you're seeing how much jewelry, what color the suit is. And I know the Marlins sent it out today and Jazz Chisholm Jr. is just like, only Jazz could pull this off, all white with a black jacket and all the chains and everything. And he just, the headband. It's like that's really become something. How you guys
Yeah.
come to the park has become really an event.
Well, yeah, I hope Chaz was born with some money or something, because that dude, I think he spent some money on some swag and some jewelry and things. I don't know if he's made much yet, but hopefully he has a long career and it don't matter. But save some of that money, kid.
Yeah, I mean, I was interviewing him the other day, and he opens up a box filled with like chains of diamonds and everything else. So I'm like, and you're right. I remember talking to Mabin, and he opens up like sunglass kit with 3 Oakleys, and I thought that was high living. And, Chisholm has like more than.
And by the way, he got all those for free. So
yeah, he got all those for free. Hey, talk a little bit about the ballpark, because obviously we like to see the new ballpark, but you noted it, and I remember you were outspoken. The Stain was outspoken. Samson's got mad whenever I wrote what you guys said about the ball doesn't carry out of there, but you guys were right. I was watching, from the press box, you look and you're like, oh my goodness, the ball cannot leave this ballpark unless you are, John Carlin. And you probably still call him Mike, right? You get away with calling him Mike.
He doesn't care what I call him, but I try to go with G or Giancarlo.
Yeah.
I do call him Mike still, just because I did it for so long. But yeah, I don't know.
but yeah, I mean, were you just like, wow? I mean, you knew it could play big, but just reaction that. Especially year one, when I remember John Buck just, ready to break things all the time.
Yeah, JB needed all the help he could get too. I'm sure he'd be the first one to tell you. Can't be taking those away from me. I need every one of those I can get.
Yeah.
Going back to that 2012 team though, like there was so much hype going into that season.
Well, we made all those free agent acquisitions.
Yeah.
Thought JJ was going to be healthy and ready to go. I mean, Anibal had a great year that year. I think he was the only one, though, and they ended up trading him. Hanley moved to third. I mean, I think he had a decent year, nothing crazy. But I think, with Reyes coming over, they wanted him to be the MVP candidate again. I don't think that was there. I was hurt trying to play. That didn't work out. And also,
in center.
Yeah, they also tried to put me in left field. That's not probably the best move you could make. Bonnie was in. Yeah, then I think we even had Cogs there maybe for a little bit. Petey was there. There's a lot of guys in there in center. Kevin Madison. Yeah, I think I remember our only bright spots really being Donovan Solano and.
Well, Burley had a good solid year. Yeah, Mark
Burley did? Okay,
yeah.
Yep.
Santa got hurt.
Yeah,
Right.
Anibal Sanchez. Yep. And
Heath Bell didn't have a good year, but
no, Heath Bell didn't have a good year.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Cishek was another guy that did really well that year, I think.
Yeah. He came up and saved a lot of games when Heath Bell was struggling. But yeah, I mean that's I think it kind of takes us to just the nature of the sport. Lomo is on paper is one thing. We're seeing the Mets think they're going to have a tremendous year, and they probably will be really good. But it's just you never really know how it's going to fit together. And when you have the urgency to win, then and it doesn't click, you get off to a slow start. That kind of exasperates things, I think, too, right?
Oh yeah, I think so. And I think being a young player, never really having the expectation or feeling the pressure to try to win or whatever it may have been. Obviously, you go in, and I don't really. It's like you're going in, you're going to compete. But when you're struggling, when the team's struggling, when you're not feeling well, you put a lot of extra pressure on yourself. That this game's already hard enough to play. You don't need to be putting on yourself. That's where you just got to eliminate the noise and the distractions and take care of you. Basically, be selfish about it.
Yeah.
Do you think if you guys were given another shot, like obviously we know what happened, like that rebuild started midway through that season, but do you think if you guys stuck that together and got one more year, it would have been better?
I don't know. Probably not. I mean, we really look at it, like we didn't have like a lockdown closer. We thought we did. Like I don't think Heath ever came back and did well. You know, Stanton, me and Stanton were still relatively young, like in the game, and being hurt, all that stuff. Like I don't know. I really don't. That's a tough hypothetical for me to even go back on. I know that we had a lot more talent than we showed. We played. I know that we definitely underachieved. But yeah, there's a lot of factors that went into that.
Well, how surprising also the Ozzie situation, literally like day one, just creating a distraction. It was just, that season just it derailed. I was amazed and shocked that for all the hype and what should have been, it just flipped like right away and just created such a tough environment to succeed.
Yeah. I'm not going to put any of the blame on Ozzie in the comments he made on any of the distraction that I had. Why I didn't hit a 0-1 heater right down the middle or anything like that. But like I'm sure it doesn't help. Was it cool to walk out with like the Carnival girls on opening night? Yeah, it was really cool, but it probably wasn't like good to do when you're trying to win a Major League Baseball game like 10 minutes later. I don't know, just stuff like that. Little stuff.
Yeah, it was a production. Yeah, it was a definite production where instead of the traditional in it, and that's how Jeffrey and David, they like to do that. They wanted to put on a big show. They wanted to be different, and it doesn't always it doesn't always work. If you guys had done much better, then we would be laughing about it and said hey, they lived up to it. But you're right. They did. They was it Michael Buffer? Was he there that day as well?
Oh, I'm sure he was. I can't even. Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, that day was like a blur. It was like all excited, all this stuff, and you just. I honestly like didn't remember Muhammad Ali was there until you said it. I'm like, oh yeah, I took a picture with him too. Like it's just. It was just it happened so fast. Like the whole. I feel like all of it was yesterday, but when talking to guys and coming back here, they bring up details. You're like, oh yeah, that was that. Okay.
That was it. Yeah. I think it gets to the point, and just when you're saying, Lomo, this sport is so hard to succeed at with everything going right, with everything. And that's what I think, today's athlete too, with social media and, you see right now what you're probably following a little bit with Acuna and Freddie Freeman. Apparently he's had some stuff on Instagram Live about not necessarily getting along great with Freddie. And it's all like happening live on either opening day or opening day eve. And, it's like just something else to answer. It's just kind of, there's a lot of platforms, everything.
I understand what you're saying there. I also think it is good for the game. Like WWE, they say baseball is like boring, like spice it up with like guys talking crap about each other. Sure, why not? I mean, try something.
Maybe from our end in the media side, but
if I'm the player, I don't want to.
From the player side.
Yeah.
So you think if like the MLB were to go, like how NBA and NFL have like off-season drama and like free agent frenzies and whatever, you think MLB should like kind of follow suit like that to create more fan drama?
I don't know. I don't know about that kind of stuff. I just know that like it's gonna be. So like what people don't understand is like why does baseball's dirty laundry always get aired out? Well, it's because you have a different dynamic in baseball than you have in any other big sports, right? You have like salary cap in the big sports, other big sports, and you don't have one here. So you constantly have players trying to get as much as they can, and you have owners trying to make as much as they can. And the only way they really know how to make as much as they can is to cut the big spending down the players' payroll as much as they can, or keep it where it is while revenues continue to increase. So as long as you have that dynamic, like you're going to have a tough time getting any of the new stuff to come up and be like, yeah, let's do that. Let's go on. And that might be a great idea, but players aren't just going to be like, yeah, okay, so we'll do that. But like take away or let's get a floor on teams, or they're going to be like, no, we're not going to do floor on teams to get an extra interview in the clubhouse after the game or whatever the request may be.
I think also, Lomo, like the NFL, for instance, they have Brady. Just think about, how fortunate they are. You have a guy like Tom Brady who makes so much attention. He retires, and then, like me, unretires. A month later, is a little more celebrated than mine. But we both had about a month. But you have that. You have those stars that are the biggest in the game are also the household names. And how does baseball? Yes, everyone knows Mike Trout's name or Shohei Ohtani's name, but the people in South Florida don't identify or relate to them. They will either like their local players or not.
Yeah. So another dynamic, like going along with like that whole thing, is like the other leagues do a really good job of promoting their stars. I mean, and in the NBA, the stars run the league. Like LeBron James, that's the LeBron James league right now. There's nobody else has power like he does. In the NFL, it's the same way. Like you guys, like Patrick Mahomes, they do a really good job of promoting. And yes, football is very popular, so it's easier to promote. But like you have this dynamic in baseball where MLB does not give away theirs. So like MLB, Budweiser will go to MLB and say, hey, we want some players. No, just put MLB's logo on it and put the silhouette of players. They don't want to promote the player and give the player too much power, and then slowly start to chip away at their their money, their bottom line.
A guy like Giancarlo Stanton was probably one of the most marketable players, especially in his prime in Miami, that baseball could have ever had.
And they did what with it, right? Like, and I'm sure like like Giancarlo also like is probably picky about what he does, and he should be. Guy's a superstar, but like, I don't think they probably tried to their fullest extent to like help promote Miami baseball with him on it. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Hey, Loma, let's talk about the Marlins briefly. I don't know how much you're following the current team. Kind of your thoughts of what you're seeing or hearing about them right now as they open tomorrow.
Well, Jeter quit. That's never a good sign.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm assuming that he was told one thing and was probably told that one thing, knowing full well, like when they actually got the team, they weren't going to do that one thing. But they needed Jeter to buy the team. That's my assumption on it. He's like, I'm not signed. I didn't sign up for this. I'm out. So I don't think it's like that's like a good omen for Marlins and Marlins fans. Do I think they have good talent? Yeah. I mean, they got some good pitching. Some young studs. I love the outfield. Like moving, like you were talking about, Joe, having the kid move over from
Jesus Sanchez. Yeah.
Jesus Sanchez moving over from a corner to center field. Like I'm sure he's got the tools. Ozuna kind of did it. So like we'll see if it plays out. But it's a big outfield. But if he bangs, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's kind of what it is. You could always, like I've said several times, you could always get someone to catch the ball in the final 3 outs of the game if you need to, if you got the lead. But yeah, and I guess you do the expression, as long as they drive in more than they let in, it's it could be a plus. So
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. If he plays an average center field and hits 330 with 30, I think you got yourself a center fielder.
Yeah. Hey, what is, and I know they have moved the dimensions in a bit. It still plays huge up the middle, but what are some of the challenges you found in roaming the outfield in Miami?
Shoot, that was a long time ago. I try to not remember those days. Blacked out. The Clevelander was a distraction. Trying not to look in there. That was tough. That was tough to play. I might have missed a pitch or two.
It's gone now. It's gone.
Yeah. See, let's see. The lights, I believe. I remember, like, if I went for a blooper, like in the left center, the shortstop triangle area, the lights would you kind of lose the ball in the lights there.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's not much like wind stuff that you experienced. I actually played the first day game at Marlins Park as well. That was played with an open roof. Remember when we came with Seattle?
Yes.
I was in that game, or was that game? I don't even know if I played. I think I was hurt, but I was at that game. And shocking there too, hurt.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that was cool to see. Day game in Marlins Park. Giancarlo, I think, walked it off one of those nights with a grand slam. That was not cool to see at the time.
I do remember that actually.
Yeah.
I think they went on like a little win streak, if I remember right, that like got them back to like 500, and then as always, plummeted after that. But
Mariners back in 14 got you hot.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on because I know you're a guy that likes to show emotions. You're kind of one of the first really that were really more open on the field, but that still seems to be like a hot topic when we have a lot of guys doing bat flips, and we're kind of getting to a point where it's becoming a little bit more accepted, but there's still like the Brian McCanns out there. But like, how do you feel about this like young movement and actually showing emotions out on the field?
I mean, I don't know. My thoughts on it is like a show pump's a show pump. You don't get too many of them. Might as well celebrate them.
Did you have to like bat flips in Milwaukee or in your last couple stops actually?
Yeah, with the Rays, there was a couple. Yeah. I mean, it's just like I don't know. I used to be like the fastest around the bases when I first got called up in my home run. But I only hit 2 of them, and it was like 11 or 13 seconds, something like that. It was basically a sprint because I didn't know they were going out. By the time I realized they were going out, I was at third base, so I was like, all right. And but like, and then like, yeah, the body just can't like. Why would you sprint around home when you hit a home run? Just take your time, take it easy. Body can't handle all the pounding. I don't know. I don't care. I don't give a crap. That's the answer. I don't care. If you want to celebrate them, celebrate them. If you don't.
Hey, before we get out of here, what was it like playing in Tampa Bay? Because we're trying to make this a little more of a state podcast and incorporate the Rays a little bit more. What was it like with being a Ray for a little while?
So I really liked it. I thought like the culture was good. Cash was great. I think that like, I don't know. I felt like when I was there, like we were in it, and then like we went and got some middle relievers at the trade deadline. The Yankees like loaded up. Now like I get it. It's a business, and you're not worried about the 1 year if you're the Rays. You're worried about like being consistent for a long time, and if something hits and you get a bunch of talent pulled together, blah blah blah. But like it would have been nice to like, because I think we did have a good team to get another starter or something, maybe a top end close. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. It just was like, well, the Yankees and these guys loaded up. We got 2 middle relievers, and they actually did well for us. But
yeah, it's something that's obviously the big market and small market. It's always going to be that challenge, but it'd be interesting to see, how the Marlins react. But I promised I was going to keep you under 30 minutes, and we're getting close to that. So I just want to thank Logan Morrison for being our special guest. And we wish you well, Lomo. Keep us up to date on how indie ball goes, and we hope to see you back in the big leagues, my friend.
Heck yeah. Thanks, guys. Good to see you, Mike. Good to see you, Joe.
Good to see you again, man.
All right. Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.